Company is proposing to release millions of bioengineered mosquitoes.
Well, it may sound unusual, but Google seeking approval to release up to 32 million specially treated mosquitoes.
What if I told you that right now, millions of genetically modified mosquitoes are about to be unleashed over California and Florida, and the company behind it isn't a government lab or a pharmaceutical giant. It's Google. Yeah, Google. Here's the real story. A tech giant is asking the federal government for permission to release 32 million specially engineered mosquitoes across California and Florida over the next 2 years. The stated goal: stop the spread of mosquito-borne diseases like West Nile virus and St. Louis encephalitis. The EPA is reviewing the proposal right now, and they're taking public comments before deciding whether to grant an experimental permit. This isn't some fringe startup either. It's Google's Debug initiative, a project that's been running for over a decade under Alphabet's life sciences arm, Verily. And they've done this before. Back in 2017, Verily released 20 million bacteria-infected mosquitoes in Fresno after Zika scares started popping up in the area. Here's how it actually works. Scientists breed male mosquitoes, and only males, because males don't bite, only females do, since they need blood to develop eggs. These lab-bred males carry a naturally occurring bacteria called Wolbachia, plus a self-limiting gene that stops their offspring from surviving to adulthood. They release them into the wild, the males mate with wild females, and instead of producing the next generation of disease-carrying mosquitoes, the population just collapses. On paper, it's elegant. In practice, people have every right to be skeptical, and history backs them up. Rewind to the fruit fly wars. Decades ago, scientists tried something nearly identical to control fruit flies, devastating citrus crops in places like California and Florida, sterilizing male flies and releasing them to crash the population. Billions of dollars went into it. The problem? The sterilized males were weaker flyers than their wild counterparts. Wild females often preferred mating with healthy wild males over the lab-bred sterile ones. A University of Nebraska study even found the strategy sometimes barely dented the population it was supposed to wipe out. So, when people hear, "We're going to release lab-bred mosquitoes, and it'll definitely work this time," a little hesitation is fair. And then there's the bigger question nobody seems to be asking out loud. Who actually gets a say? When Verily ran its Fresno project, residents never voted on it. There was no ballot measure, no referendum. It went through mosquito control districts, regulatory approvals, and public comment periods. But no direct vote from the people whose backyards these mosquitoes would be flying into. Critics have pushed back hard on this, arguing that large-scale biological interventions affecting entire communities deserve more than a comment box on a government website. They deserve real consent. Now, here's where it gets a little wild. Genetically engineered mosquitoes today, but what about tomorrow? Military researchers have spent years developing insect-sized drones for surveillance, like the Black Hornet. A drone so small and quiet, it can slip into a room undetected and record everything happening inside. It's not hard to imagine a future where the line between biological mosquito and surveillance device gets blurry. Tiny, flying, nearly invisible tech designed to listen, watch, and report back. If intelligence agencies aren't already working on something like that, they're falling behind. So where does that leave us? Maybe this really is just sound science aimed at saving lives from dangerous diseases. Maybe it's exactly what it looks like on paper, a clever, modern solution to an old problem. Or maybe it's one more example of massive corporations making sweeping decisions about our environment and our health without ever asking the people who actually live there. Probably The truth sits somewhere in between. But the lesson from the fruit fly experiments still applies. Confident predictions about controlling nature have a way of getting humbled. What do you think? Sound science? Or one more thing nobody got a vote on? Drop your take in the comments, because this is exactly the kind of story worth arguing about. And if you want more breakdowns like this, stories where tech, science, and a healthy dose of skepticism collide, hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.